welcome to my channel. My name is Jana and this is Curves on the Road. Today's video will be different from my normal whimsical funny content because I have a topic that I feel like I should share with you. It's not a clickbait, it's not a scam, it's real. I had COVID. First of all, I would like to make a disclaimer that I'm in no way a doctor or any medical expert, so everything that I'll be saying is based on my personal experience and personal opinion. So please take all this information with a huge grain of salt and consult with your doctor if you don't feel well. Where did I catch it? Honestly, I have no idea. It could have been anywhere. You see, our government let us run free after the first wave of COVID. I went to a theater with friends, we went for dinner, I was frequently going to the gym, even though it doesn't look like that. And yeah, I was living the normal life. But the main problem is, none of the people I encountered had any symptoms. All the people looked absolutely healthy and you could never tell that they had COVID. So that's the first danger. You have no idea where you can catch it. What were the symptoms? I was lucky that I didn't have the severe symptoms of the disease. I started with a common cold. I honestly thought it was just runny nose and nothing particular. When I started feeling that something was wrong is when I lost my smell and taste. And when I say lost, I mean completely lost. I couldn't tell if I was eating fruits or meat. It was very bizarre. The only taste I could distinguish was very salty or very sweet, bitter and sour probably. I was trying to do, the test of spraying some perfume on me and all I could smell was the alcohol, no fragrance. So that was a little weird, but I was telling myself, okay, girl, you have runny nose, so it's stuffed, therefore you can't smell. That's normal. It's still a cold, don't panic. Fine. So how did I find out that it was really COVID? Well, that's where the story gets a little sad. My mom got it from me. I probably wasn't, cautious enough not to be close to her and she got it. I was in the beginning just making fun, okay, you have the cold as I do, haha. But soon, in a couple of days, it turned to worse. Her symptoms were much more severe. She had terrible headaches. She lost the appetite completely. She couldn't eat anything. And probably the worst symptom was the fatigue. But not just that you feel a little tired and you don't feel like doing much of exercise. It was the fatigue that you have troubles to get out of bed and get to the toilet. At that moment I was like, this doesn't look like a normal cold. Not at all. My mom's obviously much older than me and I got worried. I was like, if she got it from me, then I have it. I should get tested really quickly to confirm the diagnosis so that at least we know where we stand. So I went for the test. Now in the Czech Republic, there is a huge amount of new cases every single day. So all these labs are overloaded. So I couldn't take the test that your doctor would send you to. I had to pay for it. It cost around $100 and I didn't hesitate. I said, I need this test so that we all know what's happening. I went to the laboratory. I was surprised that they were taking the tests outside. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea actually, because the virus gets destroyed by fresh air and sunlight. So it makes perfect sense that it's better to have it outside than in an enclosed place. They took the little swab and they took a sample from my throat and from my nose. It didn't hurt. It's not the most pleasant thing in the world, but it's nothing that you wouldn't survive and that you would be speaking for days how bad it was. So if you feel any doubts and it might impact your loved ones, go get tested. After 24 hours, I got the results and I was weakly positive, which was exactly what I kind of expected, because the worst part of the disease was already behind me. The week before, I really showed the symptoms. The next week, I was almost back to normal. So I was like, okay, it's COVID. I have it, and 99% sure my mom has it as well. Do I think that the weight influences the severity of the disease? From my personal experience, no. I had very mild symptoms and obese. So at least in my case, I don't think it was relevant in any way. Was I fit before I caught it? Yeah, I was going to the gym regularly. I exercised. I tried to eat somewhat healthy. So I wasn't in my worst shape ever, but still, if you looked only at the tables, the doctor would say, yeah, she will have the bad case of COVID because of her weight. I feel it's a little bit unfair because after I tested positive, they gave me a form and there were lots of questions. And one of the first questions were your weight. But there were no questions about smoking, drinking, taking drugs. You know, these kind of things that I feel might influence how bad the disease will impact you as much as the weight. But no, they were just asking about the weight. So I felt a little bit that it's not accurate and it might give obese people a big scare for no particular reason. Okay, there might be some statistics that it's worse, but don't be extremely scared. Be cautious. But as I said, I'm the example of a person who had mild COVID with extra few pounds. Did somebody catch it from me? Yeah, actually my parents caught it and I'll never forgive myself for it. The thing is, I really didn't know it was COVID. If I knew from the start I was contagious, I would try to isolate myself as much as it's possible in a small house where we all live. So I didn't do that. I didn't wear a mask at home. And therefore, unfortunately, they caught it from me. And as they are already in the risk group, their symptoms were much worse than mine. I would say both my mom and dad had very similar symptoms. And luckily, I mean, touch wood, right? It's good that I have a wooden bed around here. Luckily, they didn't have like the cough. It didn't impact their lungs. It was more about the fevers and the really bad fatigue. And luckily, after 2 weeks, they were starting getting better. The thing is, the 2 weeks that the disease was ongoing were a nightmare. I was really worried. It was really hard to call the doctor, to reach the doctor, because there were so many patients. You could see on the news everywhere that the hospitals were flooded with people with new cases and people dying, and you have two really sick parents at home that you love the most in the world, and you are no medical expert and now you're supposed to treat them. That was tough. That, I'll tell you, was really tough. So for you who are young and optimistic that it will do nothing for you, yeah, probably you're right, but be aware that there is a group of people and you might have your loved ones among them that really might get impacted and you really wouldn't like it. How did I treat it? Well, as you probably know from all the media, there's no cure. There's no pill that you would take and you would get better, which is bad because I'm definitely a person who prefers to take medicine and get better. While here, all we could do is take the paracetamol and the medicine that reduces fever and pain. But the problem was, especially with my mom, who had like stomach problems, like big stomach problems. She was sick and she couldn't eat, and therefore she couldn't take just meds on an empty distressed stomach. What really helped, if I don't count the medicine, was chicken soup and the baby food that is made out of fruits. Those two things really helped to settle the upset stomach. The soup was brilliant because first of all it was warm, it had nutrients in it, and I was mixing it based on the level my parents could cope. So first I gave them just the broth, no noodles, nothing. And after that, when they started getting stronger, I was adding the other ingredients like vegetables and meat, and they were getting stronger and stronger from that. So if, touch wood, nobody gets sick from your family, but if that happens, don't underestimate the power of this kind of food. And the baby food, you know, like you're supposed to get vitamins, right? And you can't take an apple, you know, it just would not work well. You have to really make the stomach work for the vitamins. So you just have it pureed and it enables the stomach to ingest it better. Also, it's sweet, so it lifts, you know, the sugar in blood and people are more active and get more energy. How long did it last? Here's the deal. I had a negative test already, was it a week ago or even 10 days ago? But some of the symptoms returned. I didn't have cough at first, and now all of a sudden I'm coughing and I'm still a little bit tired. I don't want to over dramatize it. It's nothing that I couldn't live normal life with, but I'm just pointing out, if you get through COVID and you feel like you could get back to your normal life, take it easy, take it slow, don't rush to run 5 kilometers in the forest, because, you know, the COVID might be waiting somewhere in the back and strike once your body feels tired. How to prevent catching it? Well, you're asking a person who caught it, and I want to stress out that I was really obeying all the rules that were currently in place. And I even wore masks when it was just recommended, not mandatory. So be very careful. people that you'll meet and they look completely healthy might already be contagious. Definitely wash your hands as frequently as you can. Carry around in your purse disinfection. I had those teeny bottles of Sanitol in my handbag, in my car, just in the corridor of the house, so whenever I just come from outside, I can treat my hands with it so that I kill the germs. Also, try to keep the distance. Try not to get involved with too many people at this point. I know that it's tedious, trust me, I hate it already. I've been quarantining for a month now and I'm going nuts. I really need some normal contact with people, but we should just be reasonable. I mean, it's not forever, it's not gonna last forever. There will hopefully be a vaccine soon. What also helps, I really feel it does, is wearing the mask. I never thought it would be a controversial topic. I mean, it's not a terrible thing. Unless you have some particular problem that prevents you from having your nose and mouth covered, I feel it's the least you can do. It's not painful, it's not such a burden. So I don't understand why there are so many people that are politically, I would say it's pure politics, politically against wearing the masks. And those who wear it but they are against it wear it the most stupid way. I'll show you a picture, and once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. And once you see a person wearing a mask like this, you'll always remember it. Simply when you treat your mask like your underwear, it should be fine. You should change it frequently, not share with other people, and most importantly, make sure it covers all the part it should. The masks are not only prevention from catching the virus, they're also fashionable and a bonding moment. This one, for example, is very precious to me because it was made by one of my best friends, Anička. Hi, Ani, if you're watching. Thank you very much. It's really cute and I'll have a memory forever. To share with you today. I hope you found it beneficial. If you have any additional questions, leave them down in comments. I'll be happy to reply. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and follow me for more content if you want to see more. I upload every Sunday. Thank you very much and bye.